Hello, welcome to another tutorial. For this tutorial, what we're going to do, we're going to prepare this file for it to be print ready. Right. So many designers doesn't know that one of the most important aspect of designing is to prepare your files to be ready for printing. Uh, this is because if your file is not done properly, it is not ready properly, then it's going to create an issue later when you send it to printing. Right. So for this tutorial, we're going to teach on several things on how to make this file ready for printing. Right. So first thing, you might have a completed document like this. Right. This is just an example. It is not a completed document. I only have a few pages that is in draft now. Okay, I don't even have picture. So just for this tutorial, it is good enough. Right. So first, when we send the file for printing, we need to make sure that the file doesn't have any error. So how to know that your file has errors or how your file is error free is by looking at the bottom down here. So if it is in green color, then you're good to go. It means you don't have any error. But for this file, I actually have two errors, right? It says there two errors and the circle is in red color. So how to find the error, right? So the error is detected by automatically on the Adobe InDesign system. So if we have multiple pages like this, like 40 pages, it is going to be very hard if you want to find one by one. So luckily, the systems allows you to just go straight to the errors that it indicated over down here. So what you can do, you can just double click on this error, and then it will show the error is in the category of text. If the error is in a picture, then it's going to show picture. If the error is about something else, then it will show down here. So for this file in particular, the error is on text. Apparently we have two errors on this. So we can click on the text here, expand it, and then it says there, okay, two instances of this problem detected. Click to show or hide the list of instances. So it seems that the problem is on text that is overset. Okay, so just click on it, and then these are the pages. So it means that the first error is in page 2, the second error is in page 5. You can just click on the selected error and it will, say for example I click number 5 here to go to 5th page. This is go to second page. So it will highlight the error automatically. So it seems there is an error here. What is the error? You can see it by this red mark here, which is red plus mark here. So overset tag, it means that this text box is too small to contain the text inside the text box. So there is more text underneath this or inside this text box. So what you need to do to remove the error is to expand this text box a little bit more. So apparently there are more words down here that I didn't notice. Okay, so if I were to expand it, okay, say for example this size, the error is gone. Okay, even here the error is gone, right? So the error in page 2 is gone. So let's go to page 5, double click. Okay, it seems that it has the same problem as previous one, right? Which is it has this red marking. It is under overset text. So what we need to do, we need to expand the text box. Okay, so the overset text error can occur when you, for example, okay, you write something, and then without you realizing it already more than the text box itself. So it shows this error and the error pops out here, right? So it also can happen when you, for example, you select all the text and then from 8 point you change it to 10 points, right? You change the size of the text, which means it will need more space, which also means that the text box that you have is not big enough, right? So that is how the overset tags happen. So there are some other errors as well. What you can do is to just look at the bottom down here to see the error related to text, related to picture, related to linking, or any other, right? So that's a good function that they have in Adobe InDesign. So now the error is gone. Okay. Um, you might need to check on margin. Okay. For example, especially on the text margin, right? So if you look at the text here, margin, they're all kind of nice. Okay. They don't have any margin error and so on. Okay. Make sure you check on the text size. They're all similar size. There will be a time where you have a double text box like this, side to side, and this one is set at maybe 8.5 point, and this one perhaps on 10 point. Right. So from far, okay, you might not notice the difference between this size and this size. So for this, you need to manually check. Okay, make sure you click on each text box. Okay, and then you see, right? So these are 10 point. This is not what I want. Okay, we originally go with 8. So this is 8.5. So let's just change it back to 8. So make sure the text box is aligned. Make sure the picture is also aligned. The picture is not aligned perhaps like this, then you might need to do some manual work, okay, to repair it. So I've checked on everything. Okay, typo error is not there, everything is nice. So now we need to prepare the file for saving, right? So whenever you have progress, please press Ctrl S or Command S if you are using Mac. So for printing in InDesign, you can save multiple formats. It is safe. Okay, it is better to save in multiple format, not just IDD file. Okay, you need to save. Usually, for me, I will save it in um, IDD file. I will save it in PDF file. I will also save it in EPS file. Okay, all three files. If you are saving in IDD file, for example, right now I'm using InDesign 2020 CC 2020, which is the latest one. All right. If you send this file to the printer, the printer guy or the printer factory might use lower version than this. They might use CC 2018. All right. So as we all already know, that a software that is old cannot open a new file. For example, if the printer is using Adobe InDesign CC 2018, they can't open InDesign 2020, right? So the system won't allow that. So when this happens, um, they will use PDF or EPS to print your file, all right? But of course, you can make modification right away, but then there will be a time where you don't have time to do any modification on file. So it is best to save in other different files format, for example, PDF or EPS. Okay, so let's do that. So first we need to save it in, where is it? Okay, we need to save it in IDD. So you just go to File, Save As, click InDesign 2020. Right, so you can save in InDesign 2020 document, or you can also save in IDML. So this IDML is a file that is can be opened with lower version of software. For example, this one allows InDesign CS4 or later to open the file, right? So this is also convenient for a print factory or a printer shop that doesn't have the latest software as you are. So, but then I usually save it in InDesign 2020 document, and then I just click on save. Make sure when you save, you name it properly. This is one of the um, good work ethics to have. For example, if your project or if your book is called designer story, okay, and then name it properly, DOC, okay, done, right? So you will have that files in the folder, and then you can also save, okay, um, you press export, okay, file export, save in PDF, print, okay, don't save it in PDF interactive or any other file, save it in PDF, print, use the same file name, okay, save, okay, in PDF there are a lot of settings that you can do, right? For example, you can set the compatibility, okay, Adobe Acrobat 5 or more, okay, so usually I'll just put it as lowest as I can, right, or maybe in the middle, okay. For this instance, let's just pick on Adobe um, Acrobat 4. So make sure the pages is all, okay, it range to page 1 until page 40, right? The rest just leave it as it is. But one of the important thing that you need to untick, because you want it for printing, make sure you untick this optimize for fast web view. So when this is ticked, it will compress the file to be in a smaller size so that it is more convenient for fast web viewing. So if this is ticked and you send it for printing, the pictures that you have inside this document is going to be compressed. It's not going to be sharp. Okay, it's not going to be sharp. So make sure this is unticked, right? Unless it is meant for fast web viewing, you send a draft to your client, okay, via email, for example, then you can make this one uh, tick like this. Okay, for now, because we want for printing, we just unticked it. Okay, in terms of compression, because this is for printing, we don't want any kind of compression. Okay, so for all of these color image, grayscale images, monochrome image, text and line, we will pick, okay, no compression. So go here, do not downsample, here do not downsample, here do not downsample, and this one untick compress and untick crop image data to frames. Okay, make sure these are all unticked. Marks and bleed is where you set the marks and bleed. Okay, what is marks and what is bleed? You can Google it. I don't have time to explain here, right? Because this is not for it. For me, usually I would pick, okay, crop marks. That is it, right? And then output. Okay, make sure there's no color conversion. It didn't convert to any other color. Make sure advanced. Okay, fonts. Make sure it did not go any kind of any preset. Okay, make sure it is high resolution, right? And then in terms of security, for example, if this file is um, or if this project that you are doing is top secret. Okay, what is top secret project? For example, you're doing project for client and client doesn't want anyone to know about the product. For example, you're printing a brochure of new Proton X50 and it is a secret um, information. They don't want to make it known for public before the launch date. So you can go to the security and then you can click on require password. Okay, and then you can put any password. Say for example, um, I don't know, password 123 or something. Okay, um, this is for a document that you want it to be secure. You don't want public access. Only you and the printer person able to open the file. Okay, so there are times where this is needed. Okay, but for this particular instance, we don't need that. Okay, so you can go to summary and see all the settings that you have. I'm okay with the setting, and then I click export. Okay, it will export the PDF file. Okay, so let me see where it is. um, So this is the thing about, is it here? Nope. Is it this one? Okay, we just check on it later, right? So next file that you can export is file export, and you can export the IDML file, okay, which is what we um, saved just now. Sorry, not IDML file, but EPS file. Let's try. Okay, find EPS file. Okay, so that's EPS file. EPS file is a file format that can be opened with three softwares. Okay, three main software, which is Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign, and also Adobe Photoshop. Right, so you can use this EPS file, um, and you can open it with any of those three softwares. But there will be some limitations on some softwares. Okay, but then it still can be open. So just to be safe, you can also save it in um, EPS file. Okay. So in terms of setting of APS file, make sure you tick on all pages, and then PostScript level 2, just leave it as it is. Preview, you can put T for anything. Okay, but most importantly, make sure all pages are selected. Make sure the color is CMYK, alright, and you can export it. Okay, like so. So let's go to the folder itself. Okay, which is this one. Okay, so these are on EPS file. It has 40 pages. It's much better if you were to put it in its own folder. Okay, let's name it. There. Okay, so now you have InDesign file, which is InDesign CC 2020. You also have the PDF file here, which you can view. So for PDF file, because the we picked the marks, repeat the crop marks just now, so it will actually show crop marks, okay, like this, right? So this is indication for the printer to cut, okay, on this border here. Okay, so I have copyright, I have the table of content, I have the acknowledgement, I have a prologue, and I have other page like this, right? So all 40 pages are here. Okay, which all this page, okay, PDF, you can actually open it with Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, okay, in order for you to edit it, or the printer can open it, okay, with their printing software to print it. Okay, as for EPS, this is usually for last resort. They can open it in Photoshop. Okay, they can just select all of this, right click, and then open, okay, either Illustrator or Photoshop, or any kind of printing software that they have. Okay, so that is how you prepare the file for printing. Hopefully this tutorial is beneficial for you. Before you go for printing, make sure, okay, let's recap. First, you need to check for error. Look down here, there's no error, then you can go and then print. Okay, save in InDesign file, you can save in PDF file, you can also save in EPS file. Right, so till then, see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.